Our next session is something different. This is on robotic surgery, introducing the Hugo system, which is a different platform of the robo. Before we start, which is just going to be in a few minutes, I would suggest that snacks are just being organized just outside the hall. You could pick them up and you might find them interesting too, as much as the discussion. So you may pick them up and walk into the hall and listen to the rest of the discussion while we set things up. So just give us about 5 minutes while you start. Okay. So we'll start in exactly maybe 4 minutes so that you can refresh yourselves and come in.
Sound.
And I believe, and I'm really convinced, that the coming decade, surgery will change and innovate more dramatically than
Minimally invasive surgery can offer better patient outcomes. That's why we developed a solution to give surgeons more choice for performing these groundbreaking procedures, regardless of where they are in the world. Meet Hugo, a surgical platform that brings the possibility of robotic-assisted surgery to more people in more places. The Hugo Robotic Assisted Surgery System is designed to empower surgeons, to work alongside OR staff, and to keep the patient at the center of care. Flexibility is at the core of our design and can be seen in each of our platform components. It starts from our smallest component, the instruments. A wide selection of wristed and non-wristed instruments is available to fit the surgeon's needs, including trusted technologies from our Tri-Staple and Ligasure portfolios. The instruments and endoscope then attach to one of Hugo's individual arm carts. Designed to easily move between ORs, these arms allow a broad variety of options for placement and positioning, and they can be easily deployed in 3 or 4 arm configurations to support a number of surgical approaches. Next is the Vision Tower, which is the interface between the Hugo system robotic arms and the surgeon console. The tower houses components such as the ValleyLab FT10 generator and STOR's visualization system. It's compatible in both laparoscopic and robotic-assisted procedures. For example, you can quickly switch the STOR's endoscope from handheld to robotic format. Next is the surgeon console, where the user can comfortably perform multiple tasks during the course of a surgery. With easy grip controllers and a high-definition 3D display, the console allows surgeons to confidently manipulate tools while maintaining full view of the surgical field. The console's open design gives the surgeon complete situational awareness in the OR and allows uninterrupted communication with the surgical team. With the Hugo system, you get more than just a surgical robot. A full suite of training and support services provides a total user experience, helping you optimize your robotics program. Every Hugo system is compatible with Touch Surgery Enterprise, a cloud-based video capture and analytics tool that uses machine learning to review surgical video and to provide data-based insights into your surgical practice. The tool allows users to store and share videos in a personal library for archiving or training purposes. To ensure each surgeon has total mastery over their Hugo system, we developed comprehensive simulation training modules. And the open console design makes it convenient for a mentor to provide guidance with or without the addition of a second console. For technical support, each Hugo system is completely field serviceable, giving surgeons confidence to practice without significant service disruptions. And thanks to our product surveillance registry, we can gather data to enhance your robotics program, support cutting-edge clinical research, and bring robotic-assisted surgery to more patients across the globe. Simply put, Hugo is an end-to-end solution that combines cutting-edge technology with world-class service on a flexible platform to serve your needs. And with a broad range of possible applications, the system will help bring minimally invasive surgery to more patients, launching surgical care into the future. The Hugo Robotic Assisted Surgery System. Solutions for today and tomorrow.
Good evening to all the esteemed guests over here. I am Ankit Sancheti. I am the marketing lead for Medtronic surgical robotics business in India. And as you might be aware that Medtronic has recently launched a surgical robot, Hugo RAS system. This session basically is by Professor Dr. Alex Motry, who needs no introduction. Dr. Motry is the head of Orsi Academy, Belgium. And he has recently installed Hugo RAS system at his center. So basically there's a recorded session where he's sharing his first experience with the system. I will just play this session and then, if there are any questions, then we can take it up.
I am giving a lot of talks on innovation, and I believe, and I'm really convinced that the coming decade, surgery will change and innovate more dramatically than it has done the last century. And Steve Jobs told us already that innovation is the only way to win. We must also acknowledge that Intuitive has done a great job and has already has been the first in the field of robotics. And in the 20 years that they are on the market, they have developed their standard system and are now at the 4th or the 5th generation. But due to monopoly and so, though it has never been very widespread, so that the robotic surgery is not available to, let's say, a lot of patients around the world. So Intuitive has built high barriers to new entry of surgical robots by superior product offering, intellectual property protection, multiple regulatory clearances, and but fortunately in 2019 there has been an expiry of existing key patents, which of course will stimulate a new era of robotic master-slave systems. In 2017, with my good friend and colleague Vip Patel, during the Society of Robotic Surgery meeting in 2017 in Orlando, we had a session together about innovation in robotic surgery, and we asked the surgeons present, what actually do you want to see when new innovation is coming into robotics? Number one was the improved communication between surgeon and team, the access. We have nowadays multiple ports with moderately large size that should be improved. Limitation of arm clashing and rigidity of placement. Those amongst us doing laparoscopic surgery, we know that the trocar placement should not be millimeter-wise right. When you do robotics, it's much more difficult to change this position a little bit because the robotic arms are really fixed on them. Image-guided surgery is still not really there. Also, they were requesting tissue recognition or tactile feedback. And most important, robotic surgery should become more affordable. And there was also the question about automation. Of course, there is now a wave of new platforms coming into the market or will come to the market. And of course, we are of course stressing about the Hugo RAS system, which is probably one of the, if not the most, let's say, innovative of all. And I would like to stress a little bit my first experience on this new system, and also want to talk a little bit about clinical setup. About the system overview, for those who know the Da Vinci system, we all know that we are in a closed console, which has as a problem that you lack good communication, and you also don't have a view directly in the operating theater where you will see exactly what is happening. So now, thanks to this new Hugo system, we have now an open console available, which makes a direct communication with the staff and the team much more easy. Also, we have these new type of handles, which are more like a pistol, which are super easy to use, very user-friendly, and everything available, and very ergonomic also for the hands. As I mentioned, we have the open console, we have a 3D monitor, and very important, we have a side touchscreen where we can directly control the settings, change the view, change the colorification, change the magnitude of miniaturization of the movements, etc., etc. But it is also a tool that will be very useful because you will be able to add to this touch screen information or personalized information of the patient, like for example a 3D reconstructed image or whatever software you want to add to it. The most impressive change is that we have now the 4 robotic arms, which are completely independent on independent cards. That makes that the footprint is a little bit bigger, but you can move them around the body however you want, which makes that you have a huge increase in range of movement, and you can now access the 4 quadrants of the body without having to change the position of the robot at all. Another very important innovation is that we can have an extra addition to bring that robotic arm 30 degrees down, so that it can come from really down below up, or you can bring it 30 degrees upwards, so that you can come from high above down, so that this will this extra tool, this extra articulation helps us to avoid collisions between the different robotic arms, which is of course important once you are doing a procedure. As laparoscopic camera, we have the Storz 3D image, 11 millimeter, fantastic quality of video, but that scope is shorter than the one we have with Da Vinci. And in the beginning, I thought that would be a disadvantage, to be honest, because I am used to do, let's say, very extended lymphadenectomy, or when you have to use, for example, nephroureterectomy, that you have to go from the upper quadrant to the lower quadrant of the abdomen. But in fact, it is more an advantage, because with the Da Vinci robot, I used to place the first trocar let's say 3 to 5 centimeters above the umbilicus, in order to be able to get high enough to do the extended lymphadenectomy, for example. Here you don't need it. You can place that trocar for the camera about at the level of the umbilicus, and because it is so short, you can really turn it upside down to look into the upper abdomen without having to change the robotic arms at all. So it ended up to give me more visibility throughout the abdomen and adds to the freedom of motion during surgery when we want to go high upwards, for example, after having done a pelvic surgery. So let's have a look at pelvic surgery first. We have done, let's say, a lot of cadaver work to prepare, and so we have here set up the position as we believe is the, let's say, most easy to do to avoid any collision. This is here for a right-handed surgeon. That means that we have the camera trocar 11 millimeters at the level of the umbilicus. We have one trocar on the, robotic trocar on the left, about 8 centimeters away from the camera trocar, and we have two robotic arms at the right. I must confess that most surgeons do it differently. I am a left-hand surgeon, so I have always two robotic arms on the left and one on the right, and I know that a lot of right-handed surgeons prefer to have this as well, so that for the assistants you can have a 5 and a 12 millimeter on the other side, which is probably easier for them to assist. So, but you can do this mirror-wise, as this is explained here on this slide, but I leave that up to the preference of the surgeon to use this position. Important is that we use this, what I call a W positioning of the robotic arms, to gain distance between the two trocars, which is important to avoid collision. This is how we have positioned it. So the head is here, the pelvis is there. So as I told you, we have two on the left, one trocar on the right. The trocar for the camera is at the umbilical position, and for the assistant we have a 5 and a 12 millimeter. This is then how you can see the position of the robotic arms. So we have 3 of them on the left side of the surgeon, 1 on the right. In the initial guide from Medtronic, it is stated that you should do a lithotomist position of the patient so that you can have one card coming from between the legs. I don't think this is necessary, but it is an alternative option. And again, this is up to the preference of the surgeon to choose what they want. I prefer, if possible, not to have lithotomy position because of the risk of compartment syndrome when they are positioned too long on the leg holders. But again, this is something that is that can be chosen, and this is also one of the good things on this robot, that we can use different options according to preferences without any problem. So this is an example of a robotic prostatectomy on a cadaver. Last week we started with the first cases. I will tell you a little bit more about that. I don't have videos available yet, but we are working on it. And but there's still a video of a cadaver work, and you can see that inside this is very look-alike what we are used to robotic surgery. And you see we have a very easy access to everything. We have now cut through the bladder neck. We are now going through the prostatovesical musculature to go for the seminal vesicles and the vas deferens. And now we are going towards the left lateral side, where we want to do a nerve spare. And here you see that also the ergonomics of the surgeon is very important. You have, you can put your elbows very conveniently. That pistol is very easy to use. So I must say that this ergonomics for the surgeons is also an important part. And here you see us do, I believe, the anastomosis. And okay. Let's go for kidney surgery. Kidney surgery, we are using the diamond positioning. With the XI system, I went very low, about at pararectal, and put the 4 trocars. The I used to use a 30-degree lens down. Now with the Hugo system, I am working, let's say, I am putting the camera trocar about anterior clavicular line, and I'm putting the 3 other trocars a little bit in the diamond position, so that you have the whole abdomen free for the assistants to have free entrance to assist, which I believe is very important. So you see again 1, 2, 3, 4 trocars for the robot, and a lot of place for the assistant to assist without, let's say, having any collision with the robotic arms. And again, another image there to show you that. Just a little video clip on a partial nephrectomy. So, and again, you will see that this is very, let's say, natural to do this operation. We feel very convenient. It is a very stable system, and makes it easy to use. Let's say the way you are doing it today can exactly be copied without any problem. So the idea is that we follow the natural paths towards the vessels. Here you see that we are isolating the vessels. Please remember that this is a cadaver, so it's not because my surgery is so bloodless, but we always hope it is, but here of course it's on cadavers. Here you see the vessels, and then we will go for a convenient partial nephrectomy. I can tell you that we did one together with Jim Porter in order to optimize the trocar positioning, and after having done a partial where we have put the trocars only for this partial, then we said together, why don't we go down and see how far we come, let's say, in case we want to do a nephroureterectomy. Well, this was unbelievable. We could, without changing the robot whatsoever, reach the distal ureter without any problem. And I am also happy to share with you that Dr. Venki has done the first clinical case worldwide in general surgery very recently in Chennai, and he is also one of the guys that wants to be in the forefront and who is doing a great job. But as I told you, robotic surgery and surgery in a whole will dramatically change, and of course, you can also state that robotic surgery is no more or less than laparoscopy, but without the disadvantages of laparoscopy, which are stiff instruments and 2D vision. But the big difference is, in laparoscopy or open surgery, you have the surgeon and directly you have the patient. With robotic surgery, between the surgeon and the patient, you have a computer. And this is a huge advantage and a huge difference. It's like comparing the robotic platform with your smartphone. With a smartphone, you have different apps, and these different apps will be possible to help you with safer surgery. You will have smart surgery coming in. You will have video recognition. You will know about the feedback of your results compared to the mean with big data, etc., etc., etc. So there are a huge amount of innovations, and I believe that the software That's where the biggest innovation will come from. And I'm happy to say that Medtronic True Touch Surgery is doing a huge amount of work in order to offer us as soon as possible a lot of added value to make our surgery safer. So with the DS1 system, you can do automated video capturing and immediately it records, it anonymizes, and uploads the videos automatically. It will make automated data and analysis, and it will help us to give continued education through immersive interactive simulations. And also happy and proud that and humbled that Medtronic gave me the opportunity last week to do the first in man in Europe exactly 1 week ago, and I'm sure that this is a big step in Europe, and it will bring a new era, and I am convinced that Hugo will really invade very quickly the whole European market. And here you see some images from last week. So to conclude, I believe that the Hugo RAS system features an open console, a 3D laparoscopic camera, and 8mm robotic instruments. The modular setting allows for multi-quadrant surgery and cost optimization. And as we are moving towards a new era of robotics, the Hugo RAS system may represent a key contender for the leadership in robotic surgery. So,
So that was the lecture. Any questions? I'm open to take it. As you saw, this is a recent surgical robot that is launched. Predominantly, this space has been occupied by one single player, but now many companies are coming, and Medtronic, in fact, has been working on this robot since last 10 years. So we have collected all the necessary feedback from the surgeons and tried to bring a system which is very user friendly. So like you saw, it has open console. You have 4 independent arms. You have a system tower which can also be used in a laparoscopic procedure. And one great thing is that there's a feature of digital surgery. So all your procedures get recorded on cloud, and you can access it from anywhere in the world. So and it also gives you feature of annotation, and gives you all kind of analytics as to which step in the procedure is taking how much time. So it also helps surgeon to improve his skill sets and see where exactly can he probably improve in terms of operating time on the patients. And we have one great thing is that all the Medtronic instruments, which is your ligashore, your stapling devices, is something which is compatible with this system. So again, that is one unique feature that you would see in the system once you start using it. Sir, we have dedicated wristed instruments. So we have a range of instruments which are available. And like I said, the other instruments like your stapling devices, etc. from Medtronic would be compatible with Hugo system.
So suppose if you are doing a case where you need a mix of wristed and a straight laparoscopic instrument, you can use it. So there's an adapter to reduce cost. So you can use either endo-wrist instrument or the advanced instrument like ligashore, stapler, or your regular laparoscopic Karl Storz straight line instruments.
Any more questions? Right. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Thank you.